Okay, Wednesday, 5th of February 2025. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Relationship Wednesday. Love better. Do you love me? Now, there's an interesting scene in a particular, let's be broad, no spoilers, movie or television show, where a character says to another one, I know he says in general that I am king. And the other character says, anyone who says they are king isn't really the king. They're not really in charge. That principle right there is very profound. The principle of expressing something to see if it's true or not, inadvertently, among other things, again within reason, shows that it's not true. So, for example, do you have Coca-Cola here? Do I have Coca-Cola? Either it's not true, and you're just confirming it, or say it's hidden away, or I did, and it's in the bin now, or whatever else. Or it's a surprise. You've got Coca-Cola here? There's always a thing, always another way of looking at it. Well, really? Surprise. Disbelief. So I've subtly realised and learnt, I wouldn't say the hard way, not the easy way, but the medium way for observation in a relationship. If you have to ask, do you love me? Depending on a few of the things, time together, events and memories together, how long the relationship is, 1 year, 1 day, 1 year, 10 years, things like that. If you have to ask that, then by definition, either it's not there, or it's tucked away deep down in the heart and feelings and soul and emotions. It's hidden away, and you're coaxing it out. But if you have to ask, then that itself shows that it's not there. Because otherwise, it would be self-evident. So, for example, have I got books here? Oh, yeah, I've got books right there. I don't need to ask because it's obvious. Have you got a window? Oh, yeah, it's right there. You can see the light. You see the look at that tone right there. It's the pure whiteness. The light. Fair enough. There's a shadow. Oh. It's indicative. So, when in a relationship, what I've subtly noticed that when you have to say, do you love me? That by definition, it's not there. Because otherwise it will be expressed in ways. Now, those ways that would be expressed then would vary in degrees of, let's say, of noticeability, of how being obvious. It would be subtle ways or big ways. Preparing food or doing and saying things. Acts of services or gifts, things like that, and all the variations of the love languages, behaviours, actions in general. It would be expressed in ways. There's action and there's words, and both are important. Because also what I've subtly realised is that you want to look at both look at both what happens and pay attention to what is said. Both are important. And it's not mutually exclusive, they're both vital. Well, they're both vital. That's the key. Actions and words are both vital. So what's not being said and not being done is just as important as what is being done and what is being said. Fair enough. But when you have to ask for it, that's indicative of something deeper problems in the relationship, deeper problems in the dynamics of what's happening. Because it should be the greater the love is, it should be more visible, more self-evident, more obvious, basically. Not just in actions, but in the words as well, the phrasing, the sentences, the pleading, the bargaining. It wouldn't just be the situation and say arguments or discussions. It wouldn't just be you said, you didn't, why didn't you? It'd be, please, I don't want this, or please, or where are we going to be, or please, what's going to happen next, or I love you so much. Comments and expressions. And also, subtly, I've also learnt years ago, and it still continues to be true today, these spontaneous acts, the spontaneous declarations, those are very powerful and a much stronger indication of love. The spontaneous. So, for example, what appears to be more loving? Gifts on Valentine's Day or gifts on a random day in the year? Gifts on Valentine's Day and maybe gifts on Christmas or birthdays, or a random day, on a random Friday, random morning, random Monday morning, random Saturday night. It's this one, the random one, spontaneous, because you could say, is begrudgingly, it's a social expectation. But over here, it's random. Where'd that come from? Well, it's not even my birthday. Well, it's not even Valentine's Day. Whoa, a surprise. If it's a surprise, then then you could say it comes from here. Or, being dramatic and poetic, heart, mind, soul, it comes from the heart. It's spontaneous. And the more spontaneous it is, oh, I love you, like that, the more it's from the heart, because it's just it's an explosion of emotion, an explosion of opinion that didn't need any coaxing or any persuasion. It just happened. Oh, I've got something for you. Why? Oh, it's not even my birthday. Oh, it doesn't matter. Show of affection. That. And the more things like that there are, the stronger and more evident, more self-evident the love would be. That's powerful. The more obvious it is, the less you'd need to ask and confirm its existence. The more obvious it is, the less you'd need to ask to confirm its existence. That's powerful. In the same way, do I have any books? Yeah, the book's right there. You can just see them. They answer that question for you. Do you have a window? Yeah, the window's right here. The lights. You can see the light and the shadow. Easy, like that. Self-evident. The more obvious it is, the less you'd need to ask. So when you're thinking, does she love me? Does she? Look at these comments and look at what she said. Yes, maybe, no. But then again, how long has the relationship been? Emotionally stagnant? Maybe. What's going on here? What's going on there? I don't know. There's a great idea. When there's doubt, there's no doubt. But that's in a slightly different context. Relationship still, but different context ever so slightly. If there's doubt, then there's no doubt. Meaning, if you're unsure of something, and that's indication of it's not there, it's the absence of it. I'm not sure if I've got Coca-Cola here, then the chances are you don't have it. Again, within reason. There's always extra nuances. I did a video about this. Within reason, there's always some extra nuances and extra shades of grey, and there's always something else out there. There's always a third. I did a video about this as well. There's always a third option. There's always a fourth. There's always a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. There's always another factor that you may not be aware of, or have not considered, or didn't think was possible, or didn't think was likely. There's always something else. And then you could expand that logic and say not to work in and that itself is a bit of a paradox. Not to think in absolutes, because there's always some shades of grey here and there. There's always kind of if, but there's always an asterisk. Maybe, kind of, depending. There's always something. But the more obvious it is, the less pressing, the less you need to ask the question. Do you love me? I've been together for 10 years. Do you love me? Yeah, I suppose so. Again, what is more powerful? Something begrudgingly, a social expectation, Valentine's Day, for example, or spontaneous. Just imagine, just an emotional outburst in a positive way. Oh, I love you. Then there's no doubt. Then you wouldn't need to ask the question. Again, as I said earlier, there's always some. It's either hidden away. There's always some nuances. Maybe I love, but I'm too shy to say it. Been together for years and years, too shy to say it. Possible. Again, humans are just, there's all sorts of shades and tones and things to consider with humans. It's just natural. But as a principle, the more obvious it is, and this applies to everything really, not just love and this, the more obvious it is, the less you'd need to ask to confirm it. Do you have any books? Yeah, they're right there. Exactly. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more. And you, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.